Time to get after it on a Thursday. Right here, another edition of Crossing Lines. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 12 Eastern. Your place to be. The chat box already popping. People buying cars. But also understand this. Not a lot going on today. There is one Major League Baseball game. And Jeff, a couple of angles I actually like in that game. But also, on top of that, we got lists to go over today. Top 5 wide receivers in the NFL. One list for Jeff, one list for myself. And also, we doubled down today because not a lot going on. The top hip-hop and R&B songs of the 1990s and the early 2000s. That's how you get down to business. Donnie, Rightside, Jeff, Nadu, we're here, and we're ready.
And the funny thing is, the 10 songs chosen, none of them are R&B songs. They're all rap.
That's hip-hop and R&B, though.
I will say I didn't include R&B. I would kind of, like, if we ever did another list, because, you know, again, that was such an iconic time for R&B. You know, that type of genre is just, they don't make it like that no more, really.
No, it's beautiful. And it took me back because it's easy to find. Like, I use YouTube Premium, so I just listen to my music that way, and I just hit my list and be like, this is what I listen to just about every single day, and reminiscing. And by the way, to make a top 5, it's damn near impossible because there's like top 100. Like, hey, I don't want to leave this up, but you had to make 5, but it's hard to do.
No, when you said, like, give me your top 5 songs in rap history, like, that's... I mean, and again, when we say history, like, all due respect, there's no song in the last 15 years I'm putting on this list.
Yeah.
I was only born in 89.
The 2000s, the late 80s, 1990s, and early 2000s, that was the golden age.
You know, it's funny, too, because I looked at your list compared to mine, and it worked perfectly, because you're, about, I don't know, what are you, 6, 7 years older than me? No, you're way more.
More, yeah, I'm 48. Yeah.
Yes, you're
I got a decade on you.
Yeah, you're like a decade. Yeah, and it worked perfectly because you have a lot of like 90s. Correct. I have a lot of 2000s.
Yeah, we got good stuff on the way too. And again, wide receivers, similar to what we had our list yesterday in the top 5 for the NFL teams heading into 2026. Jeff and I have a very similar list, just the way we sort of structure things. And there's one guy on there that I think I have a little bit lower than Jeff, which I might need to rethink because I'm in love with this guy, but I don't want to give it away. But the introduction to the show, Jeff, we got time today is what you like to say. Now, you texted me before coming on the show that you were saying, you know what, there's maybe a floating ship out there with a virus that you were following, and now we don't talk about this floating ship with a virus anymore, Jeff.
You know, I'm fascinated by this. You know, these like phenomenons that happen, and we're seeing it right now. There's a parasite going around, but you ever notice, like, with these diseases and viruses, like, they just kind of disappear. Like, you just stop hearing about them. Like, in May, it's like all we heard about was hantavirus, right?
Yes.
This disease that you get from, like, rodents, and, like, if you clean your garage out, you got to wear a mask, and it's like, you just stopped hearing about it. Donnie, by the way, my luck is pretty insane. These fucking lawn people, okay? You don't hear anything until we
until you go live. Always, they'll buzz right by my downstairs all the time at the worst possible moments.
Yeah, and it's just so irritating because it's always right when I start this show. But I wonder about this, you know. And look, this is some of the things about like who runs the country, whether it's Democrat or Republican. Like, I just feel like, to me, Donnie, why are we taking? Like, don't you think it's important that we have some sort of body that oversees, like, food and drugs?
Like the CDC and all that. I mean, we're supposed to have people that do it, but it feels like sometimes they just take the paycheck and don't pay any attention.
Yeah, like, why are we then not getting rid of those people? And why are we also, like, defunding those programs? Like, I don't know. Like, it does seem like this whole, like, recall thing and, like, a lot of these, like, food problems, this seemed like it's happened a lot recently. You know, whether it's, like, you know, anything healthy right now is like you don't want to eat, right?
Can't have any lettuce right now, man. Be just sitting on the toilet the entire time. Got to take a long commercial break to try to get that back. But you're right. That was one of those interesting stories. Like, hey, nobody wants to let them get to port. Just keep them out to sea. And then people lost their minds. Like, hey, by the way, we're going to bring 15 of these guys here, 15 here. We're going to spread it around the world. And here comes the next, you know, coronavirus on the horizon. But we're not worried about that.
It seems like now this is not working on the public, right? So like they kind of like they'll start out with like an idea, right? So we have this cruise ship, like you said.
Yeah.
Then it'll be okay. Well, it's become a little more serious, and as soon as we get to that point, it seems like every person's just like, you know what, we're not doing this again. cut it out, right? But yeah, I don't understand the whole like parasite thing. Like, how do we not have a body of people that can figure that out pretty quick? But how long do you think this will last? Do you think it'll
and until the next one, right? Yeah, there's always something around the corner. Like, soon as COVID died down, what happened after that, Jeff? Oh no, new strains coming around. It's like, okay, we'll deal with it. We'll move on. It's just the way it is. But right now, don't have any lettuce at this point. You're going to be sitting on the toilet for quite some time.
I think it's important that people and don't take hysterics from what you're seeing on the internet. A lot of the time, the internet makes things like significantly worse than it actually is. What I would strongly advise: speak to a doctor. Make sure if you're eating certain things, cleaning them. Maybe stay away from like the bagged salads at the store right now. Right?
Clean them, man. Clean them. Nobody wants to have that issue here. But Jeff, you want to talk about cleaning up yesterday? What is it with Argentina? What is it with Messi mania? What is it with them messing around for 75 minutes in a World Cup soccer match and then just hitting the absolute gas pedal? Jeff, I was believing it was coming home, which means England was going to move on into the final to take on Spain until Messi goes, no. Watch me work. Watch this happen. 2-1 victory yesterday, Argentina. Both teams to score. Jeff loved it. Over 2.5 comes in. Argentina advances to the final against Spain. What an absolute amazing match yesterday.
The cool thing about this round and these rounds is when you're down 1-0, you really only need one goal, right? Because again, like if you're down late, you just want to try to get it to the next.
Then take a breath. Yep.
Right. But yeah, no, look, we talked about it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say? What did you say? There's one guy on one team the other doesn't have, right? And you look at Messi, he was the architect, right? He didn't score, but he did make it so others found a way to score. And yeah, it was impressive. There's something, I know you talked about it. There's something sweet about France losing. There's also something sweet about England losing. They have this prowess of like, they're just better. Like, and look, their soccer, the soccer organization that they have, all the leagues and stuff. Correct. It is really interesting.
Academies. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's one of the coolest things in the world. Like, if I lived in England, Donnie, like I see some of these creators, they essentially just create content by going to like stadiums, right? So like the smallest stadium in the country to the biggest. It's like England's small enough where you can go from one end to the other in like a few hours. It's really interesting. And the soccer organization they have is pretty impressive. But there is something funny about England losing because they are kind of like that team that every year we say is going to win the World Cup or the Euro Cup, and they never end up winning it. And, it is funny to watch like the reaction after the fact, right? Yeah. They're whining and crying, and it is funny. And some of like the pundits, like they're going off about this and about that. It is funny in a way, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, Messi is. Have you ever heard anyone even hate on Messi? That's why Messi's like truly great.
He seems like the nicest. Like again, like if I can equate it to a sport, like Wayne Gretzky always seemed like the nicest guy out there. Never upset. You're going to argue with the ref every once in a while, but there's no like, hey, who was the dude on? Was it Argentina? Who's the guy that bit everybody on Argentina? Like
he was Uruguay. Luis Suarez.
Uruguay. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Like there's none of that. Like, oh, he's a dirty, great player. Like Messi is just so fluid out there, and who can hate on the guy? You can't hate on the guy.
No, you can. And that's the thing. There are certain athletes in history that are so good that when you hate on them, you just look like an idiot.
You're right.
Yes. Like if you come on Twitter yesterday and you're like, hey, no, I still think Ronaldo's better than Messi. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. Shut up. In fact, we should delete your account. You shouldn't have the internet.
Now, by the way, that's something you would say being a smart guy with engagement, though. No, you wouldn't go that far?
I mean, look, I also don't just like most of what I say, I truly do feel like I don't like there was a time where I thought they were really close to each other, and I do love Ronaldo. I've always said that. I also like the guy he is off the field. I just like how he deals with stuff. But, Messi's kind of like that work pale guy. Like I've heard Ronaldo do dozens of interviews. I can't say I've ever seen a Messi interview. Maybe I haven't really searched it out, but he just seems like a nice guy. I mean, look at that. Lionel Messi's produced a goal or an assist in every 2026 at 39. And that's the thing. Like, if he's not scoring 2 or 3 goals, Donnie, he's assisting on not just a random goal when you're up 3-1. he's giving you the biggest goal possible, right?
In the biggest moment. You want your superstars to produce when it matters the most. Like, you know what I love about it too? Like, we're going to get to the previews, like this weekend's games, the third place game and the championship game. But like the crowd, Jeff, remember I talked about it yesterday? Like, boy, it's kind of a shame if you get to extras and you don't have a golden goal. It felt like we got the golden goals yesterday in regulation at that point. Like, that crowd exploded twice in a matter of what? 3 real-time minutes? Like 1-0. It looks like England's going to hold on, my goodness. And before he could snap a finger, it completely flipped with magnificent plays. Like, nobody really wants to say, like, oh, goalie made a mistake. They were 2 brilliant plays by Lionel Messi.
And again, you look at the difference in the game. Messi did what he had to do, whether it be scoring or creating a score. Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham did not. Okay, you look at the goal for England. It was Anthony Gordon from Morgan Rogers, I believe. So, again, the professionals or the stars didn't necessarily show up for England in the game they needed to. We saw it the other day. Kylian Mbappe didn't either. Lionel Messi is going to win the World Cup again because they're going to beat Spain, and he's already won the Golden Boot because there's no one in Spain you're going to give it to. Messi won it yesterday.
But he didn't score, though. So technically, the Golden Boot goes to the most goals scored.
He still has the most goals.
Who does? Messi?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if Mbappe gets 2 on the Saturday, though?
You're going to give a guy in a third-place game against
but it's about goals. It's not about it's not an MVP.
No, I'm talking about whatever the MVP award is.
Oh, do they have an MVP of the World Cup? I don't know if they do.
Golden Ball, I believe it's called.
Oh, the Golden Ball. I don't even know.
But like, as far as like the most goals, who cares? Like, I want to win like the best player, right? And he has been the most dominant best player. There's nobody been better in this tournament than him. And now he has an opportunity to win the World Cup yet again.
Yeah. We'll cover it in total tomorrow, Jeff. But Spain, Argentina, I'm just looking at some of the outlets here to lift the cup. Spain is a favorite at -150 to do so. I mean, Spain is the better team, but doesn't always come down to sometimes like you just have a superstar because Kansas City has done this as well. It's like, or let's just call it the Patriots with Tom Brady. It's like you might have the better team, but they got that guy. They're a 150 favorite here, Jeff, at some outlets here to lift it.
I got to tell you, Donnie, we're also dealing with a truly cringy trend I'm seeing, and I don't think you've seen this.
Okay.
And I'm going to call him out. I don't think he'll see this. Maybe he will. I'm wearing a shirt right now. Skinny Joey's.
Yes.
Little snuff. I mean, come on, man. Did you see him yesterday, Donnie?
I saw a tweet or a video going around, but it had nothing to do with soccer, the one I was looking at.
Okay. So for anyone that doesn't know, there's this guy in the Philly area, Little Snuff. He's like a content creator. I've known the kid for years, since we were young. I know his family. He's a great kid. He hosts a podcast. They have a cheesesteak spot, and he does a lot of social media. Donnie, I'm noticing Italians are trying to start to take credit for, like, some of them are now saying that they're actually Argentinian. Because if you know anything about Argentina.
Yes, I do know about Argentina. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very Italian.
Correct.
And Little Snuff is trying to say that his ancestors are actually Argentinian.
Wow.
And
get the test out.
Yeah, and he does the tweet yesterday where it's like the motherland, Messi, and it's like, because look, if you look into Messi, like Messi's wife is Italian.
Yeah.
Messi is actually Italian as well.
Is that Italian name? Messi, I believe as well. Yes.
Yes. So his father's actually from Marche, which is in Italy. Like most of his mother's side is Italian. Yeah. So yeah, you're starting to see the South Philly, South Jersey Italians are trying to now say, well, hold on a second. Now remember, look, I've known Snuff a long time. Okay. Years, decades. I've never heard him ever mention he was Argentinian.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Long lineage. Reach back. Like Joel Embiid played for the United States, even though he's from Africa. I mean, people are trading sides all the time in soccer and international play. And I guess fans now, they're going to dig deep in that lineage. Like, you know what? I had a great aunt that actually lived in Sicily. Boom, Italian. Love it.
Look, I mean, just because someone could be living in Costa Rica, but they have like Italian ancestry, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like a lot of people in this country, like you're part something, right? You're
Correct.
part what? Cuban?
I got it's Spanish, Cuban, whatever you want to say on that. English, what else? Italian and German. 4. Right. 25% apiece.
but like Messi's people, like his mother and father, are Italian, right?
Yeah.
They just lived in Argentina. So yeah, I'm starting to see Italians who we thought were from mainland Italy or Sicily. Now they're all of a sudden they've got Argentinian roots.
Now, Jeff, third place game, which is going to take place Saturday. France, a heavy favorite in that game. By the way, like I actually agree with that because I think France is much better than England. But if you are England, Jeff, like, first of all, who's more crushed? It feels like England's like, we finally got to this. We had the 1-0 lead and we blew it. Like, why are we even like, I don't even want to be on this pitch. Like, they might get wiped out, Jeff.
Yeah, I think for me, I think both. Because, look, we don't hear from the media really in France. I mean, I've seen the media in England. It's a mess. They're all over them. And it was a 1 day later, right? So it's, I don't think either team cared. Both teams to score, I think, is an absolute banger. These groups are going to, I think, when a team doesn't care, Donnie, the first thing that go, defense, right? So, throw in, I've already said many times, like, I don't think England's very good defensively. I mean, I don't know who marked the guy that scored. Who was it? The second goal. Like, who was marking him? Like, it was just a free-for-all.
It looked like the U.S. team out there at this point.
Yeah, it was just like a free-for-all. But, yeah, it's a tough game to wage. It's a tough game to decipher. I would look at both teams to score. I will say, back to the other game, why are we making Argentina a dog? I mean, I don't know.
And again, you're right. Like, I think Spain is the better team overall. They've given up one goal in the entire competition. And it's like, well, that should hold. But again, Argentina's going to mess around for 75 minutes, and Messi's going to be like, okay, now it's my time. Let's get after it. I would love to see that. I don't want to see penalties, man. Don't give me penalties either in the final, Jeff. Give me a true victor on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will say with the France performance, that was like the first time I looked at Spain and said, wow, that is impressive what they did there. But yeah, it'll be fascinating. We'll have, Flash on tomorrow to discuss it. And look, yesterday was great. The Spain game wasn't great, but it should be a good final, I would suppose. Generally, they're lower scoring. It's 1-1.
We'll be watching. 1-0. We'll be watching Sunday on that here. By the way, Jeff, some NFL news as well. Alvin Kamara back with those New Orleans Saints here. $6 million base salary for 2026, $8.5 million with incentives if he gets there. He's coming back. By the way, I was very impressed with Kellen Moore in his first year down there in New Orleans. Tyler Shuck drafted. Oh, the man's like 60 years old, played very well down the stretch. Kamara's back in the fold, so a little bit of NFL news. And if we double up on the NFL news, Jeff, I call it like Christmas Eve. Jeff, tomorrow, a team is reporting to training camp with their rookies, and everybody over the next week will follow suit. I love this because now we are going to get to see training camp highlights, photos, information, the dreaded injuries, which are going to happen. But damn it, it feels good. Kamara's back with the Saints tomorrow. I think it's the Seahawks that get to training camp first with their rookies. And then by next week, Jeff, 23rd, 24th, 25th, everybody back in town, man. There you go. Adam Schefter report there. Friday, Seattle back in town.
Yeah.
By the way, I love Jadarian Price.
We talked about them yesterday. A lot of people were wondering why they weren't in our top five, and we kind of discussed that. But that said, the Kamara thing, interesting, right? Because, they mentioned in the post that he'll be possibly the odd man out. I mean, they just brought in, others to kind of, Etienne, obviously. Yep. Kamara, a guy who's an interesting dude. I mean, had some great seasons, like maybe 5-6 years ago. He was
awesome. Like, what's surprising, Jeff? A player of his type making it that long in the NFL. It's usually like you burn out after 5 or 6 years. Double digits in the NFL, man. That's pretty impressive.
I don't know what it was about it. I guess it's just it seemed like around coronavirus, he just was never the same player after that. I'll tell you one thing about him. Look, he was never regarded, like they called him a running back, but he was more of a receiver. He had some unbelievable seasons catching the football. One of the better receiving running backs. He always had that, he was kind of like a Brian Westbrook feel to me.
Correct.
I felt like Westbrook
favorite Eagle ever.
Yeah, he was much better catching the football. Yep. He was just a little undersized, but Kamara was terrific. You look at his first couple of years, like 2017-ish, 2018. I mean, he was really, really
phenomenal.
Good. And I think he's a guy who is just happy with his career. He probably has that nostalgia of wanting to be a Saint. He likes living there. He'll take a back seat. He took a little bit of a pay cut, I would imagine, as well. Sometimes you just get to that point in your career where it's like, you know what?
You're happy. Give me a couple dollars. I'll probably play 1 or 2 more years. I don't want to move. I don't want to get and it sounds crazy, but when you've made as much money as Alvin Kamara, Saints were willing to take you back for $6 million. All right, the Chargers give you 7.5. Nah, I'm staying right here. You know what I mean? It's not worth it. It's not
cost of living's more.
Correct.
Do I want to uproot my family? I've lived here for almost a decade. I love it here. You think about your own life. Are you going to start, spending a little bit more to live somewhere for a few dollars more an hour? I mean, it's just like, I look at even like your career, my career, Donnie, like I could probably start another brand and it'd probably work eventually, but I'm just kind of fine with what I'm doing. Like the other stuff I'm doing, I'm sure you feel the same. Are you going to
sit behind a desk somewhere? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But are you going to uproot your life for, you got to think of your own life,
Yeah, the good part about our job is our industry, what very few people can do, is you can live basically anywhere and do it. So it's nice. Like, hey, man, I'm a real estate agent in New Jersey. Great. I'll be one in California. I got no contacts out there. You know what I mean? A little bit different.
Yeah, and Kamara is just that kind of guy. And look, I think he'll still be a factor. They have a young quarterback they seem to like, young team. Mm-hmm. He's had a pretty good life, pretty good career.
Yes. How about this, Jeff? Have you been watching any early open action here? Southport, England. Flash talked about it. Daniel Brown, Jeff, and also Sunjay Im, -4s. But you see that little tweet there. Scotty Scheffler had it going on for a while. I think Scotty's finished at a 68 today, -2, but in contention here. Ton of guys under par. Colin Morikawa was on that list here. Bryson DeChambeau, -3. But the 2 top guys, Jeff, -4 apiece. Brown and Sunjay Im. Will you be watching this all weekend long, ready to go, huh? To feel it.
No, I didn't even know it was on. I would rather watch
wrestling. Like what?
I don't know. War footage.
I love war footage.
Like I'm not interested.
Play a little
whatsoever.
Battlefield 6.
In fact,
PlayStation 5.
Congrats, Donnie. The audience is now gone because we started talking about golf.
Come on, man. JoJo's out there. I see JoJo. I see Coach. I see T-Knot. I see Aaron A-Rod out here. Boys are popping off in the chat box here. Yeah, but golf is on at this point. Not a golf handicapper. Like I used to play a lot of golf, in my other life, as I always like to say, but I don't play as much anymore. But I'll watch Sunday. I do like the fact that it's on in the morning, so it doesn't have to clog up my afternoon. Well, hey, they're going to finish up at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday afternoon. This tournament's going to be done around 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
You know the best thing about golf, Donnie? I think the only good thing that really ever came from golf was Happy Gilmore. One of my, I'm not a big comedy guy, but I loved Happy Gilmore, the original one.
Yeah.
You know what Happy said about golf, right?
What?
Golf requires goofy pants and a fat ass. Talk to my neighbor, the accountant. Huge ass.
Oh, how about that? There you go. Had a little Happy Gilmore action, but that'll do it here for a little bit of breaking news action. And not a lot going on today. Hold on. We'll get to some Major League Baseball today. I love a couple angles there in that Phillies-Mets game, which is crazy because there's only one Major League Baseball game. You just like, hey, I don't really want to do that because why? A lot of times when you take a break, you send your best pitchers to the mound because they had a break. Not doing that on one side here, and we'll let you know a little bit further about that. But it's time for list time, Jeff, and our top story, getting you ready for the NFL season. And we've been going through a couple things. We talked about top 5 college quarterbacks, top 5 NFL quarterbacks, top 5 NFL teams. Now, Jeff, we got top 5 NFL wide receivers here. Here's a clip there from Football Forever with a couple guys in the top. And I got to say, there's not a lot of argument between Jeff and I in the top 5, just where some of these players will actually go. But I was listening at like the top 10, and there's one player that I'm very interested in this season in his numbers overall, because I think he's going to be force-fed. And I'll get to that in just a little bit, Jeff. But let's go with your top 5 here, and you can start with number 5.
Puka Nacua, which I think you and probably most people have him a little higher. I love Nacua. I got to tell you, I mean, I think it's hard there just because there are so many options in that team. Obviously, there's another really good option on that team that they could throw to as well. Yeah. But you can't knock the workload. You can't knock the numbers. Yep. I am one thing about him outside of the other 4, there are some off the field thoughts. Like, is he a guy that a year or 2 from now is going to still play football, right? He's had some personal issues, which, look, everybody does. Give him credit for getting through them. But is he there long-term? Is he engaged long-term? But coming into the season, he is a top 5 receiver. I was close on a few that weren't in my top 5. Like I think George Pickens, right, coming into the season, he's like right around the top 5, 6 or 7-ish. But yeah, I put Nakua 5. There's nothing that I'll say bad about the guy. Again, though, just the thought of there is another great receiver there already. Throw in some of the off the field stuff, but you got to look at what he's done. He's a fringe top 3, top 4. And you look at last year, 129 catches. I mean, the production is just insane.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. But also, you're right about this, because we're doing it for this year, which is good. So he's actively said it. I don't want to play a lot. Like, I want to make a lot of money in a short period of time, and I want to go raise a family and be done with it. But most people say to them, like, hey, that sounds great. And Barry Sanders walked away at an earlier age than he probably should have, and is the best running back all time for me. But for Puka Nacua, it does start to raise some flags, and you can almost equate it to other players around the NFL. Sometimes you should already have that extension, Jeff, but that team's going like, you better keep proving it. Because if I lay out a $150 million contract with $100 million guaranteed, and you act a fool like you just did in this offseason, that's going to hurt us here. So he's still in that wait-and-see mode if he's grown up enough, Jeff. But I do have him in my top 5.
And I'll say this about him. I find that to be incredibly impressive that, look, we all know, and I know there's a lot of people that want to bury their head in the sand literally over this, but CTE, the things after football, especially at the level he plays at, very concerning. I would want to make as much money as possible and get the hell out. I have no issue with that. And you're right, though. It does hurt them, though, from a long-term standpoint. It does just put a little out. Because, look, the other 4 in this list, I don't hear that from, right?
Correct. Head screwed on straight. They're going to be getting after. But Puka is, by the way, when he is right, man, like there are games that you've watched, Jeff, with the Rams, he's getting the football. The defense knows he's getting the football, and he's wide open and makes play after play after play. It's a big reason why Jeff and I have the Rams in our power rankings, number 1 overall, Jeff. Who do you got number 4? Yeah, go ahead.
It doesn't hurt having Stafford as your quarterback.
No,
right?
I mean, the rest of the team is awesome, but this guy just phenomenal, man. He is.
Sure. Number 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would have maybe these two switched, but I look at him, I mean, another guy with just his same production, a guy who, I think it's a lot of the time must watch. He's just got a knack for getting open. Most of these guys do. You look at some of the performances like individually last year. Late in the season, he had a game where he had almost 100 yards. He was essentially on like an ankle sprain, and he was still able to perform. He's just a guy that kind of brings his lunch pail to work, gets after it. You look at, I think he's one of the only wideouts with 1,000 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns in each of the last 3 seasons. He's the best receiver they've had since Calvin Johnson, and that's obviously huge praise. Calvin Johnson was a complete legend. He's right up there with the other guys in this list. And again, I don't see
he's
or hear
open.
about any.
I love him. I absolutely love this guy. And you take a look at the body, because you talk about like a Megatron, right? Completely different build than Amon-Ra St. Brown. But he's one of those guys, again, like when you feel comfortable, like you want to take a touchdown prop, you want to take over 5.5 catches, you want to take over 75.5 yards. Like you feel comfortable with him doing that. Dominant wide receiver. I love the kid, man. I do.
Another thing that I've heard people rave about him, and this was a big thing for him coming out of college as well. He is a very physical and willing blocker. Okay. Yeah. So again, he's going to catch the football, do good things on offense, but he's also going to assist in the run game. He's just a guy that seems to be fully engaged with everything. Yep. He's not one of these me guy receivers, which look, the receiver is known to be a diva, right? Whether it's Terrell Owens, AJ Brown, whoever, Antonio Brown. This is a guy who he kind of reminds me in a way, like personality wise, of like Devontae Smith. They're just very much, give me the football. I'll do what I got to do. I'll do what I have to do for the team. And Detroit needs that because there are things about them that I don't like internally. Like, I'm not a Dan Campbell guy. Never have been. I think he's a rah-rah Ed Ogeron type of guy.
Terrible game day coach, yes.
Yeah, so I have him at 4. The top 3, though, to me are separate. I think they're 1A, 1B, 1C, and then everyone else. Number 3, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
I think the only reason he's not in the top 2, because I think you can make a strong case that if we're looking at just last year, I don't know that there was a better receiver.
Couldn't cover the guy. Couldn't cover him.
And that's my biggest thing. He was the only option in the receiving game to me, really, for the Super Bowl champions. I mean, it seemed like he caught 20 passes every game.
Yes.
He's a minuscule drop rate. He never drops the ball.
1,793 yards last year.
And again, he's still very young compared to the rest of this group. I think the only caveat would just be, okay, we want to see it a year or two in a row, right, consecutively. Yep. And he'll be top 1 or 2 because one of the guys in my top 2 is falling off a little, right? There's just insane production after the ball, after the catch, and he just doesn't drop the ball. He's always open. Like you look at like a 49ers, right? They faced him multiple times last year. You knew the ball was going to him every time, and you still could not stop him. He's very reminiscent to me, too. He makes a lot of circus catches, right? Big catches. And there was a guy, Donnie, about 10 years ago. They used to film him like for the game. His name was Odell Beckham, right? Mm-hmm. He's better than Odell Beckham.
He's better, way better.
But he's got that kind of like feel to him where like he'll catch the ball behind his head. He could just do anything. I love this kid. And I think, another kid coming out of Ohio State in a couple of years, Jeremiah Smith.
Yep.
This university just produces.
It's a pipeline.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy stuff. Yeah, I love Jackson Smith and Jigba. Number 2 on Jeff Nadu's list. Who is it?
Yeah, to me, I'm big on respect. And I still am going to give Justin Jefferson the respect of having him in the top 3. I look at him a lot like Mahomes. I just think his reputation still speaks for himself. And look, he is coming off a very pedestrian year for him.
That ain't his fault, though.
No, and it's not. And that's something I want to point out. You look at in his career. Mm-hmm. Think if he was with Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or like he's had Kirk Cousins and who was there last year? Like guys off the street.
Darnold. What about his boy Donnie?
Well, and Darnold was never really much of anything there. He became something somewhere else, but he was good. Wasn't great. I just look at what he is. Give him a quarterback. Give him a real option. He still produced 8,500 yards in 6 seasons, right? With
correct.
Just average quarterback play. I think a lot of the time it'll be interesting to see how he responds because generally when a guy's off a pedestrian year, a guy like him responds in a big way.
Love him.
I think he will. And I still think raw talent, he's still top 3.
Love him. You get no complaints out of me. He'll be obviously in mine. Number 1 for Jeff Nadu.
Jamar Chase.
Freak.
It's not really. And here's the devil advocate for bad quarterback play. I don't know if you noticed last year, Donnie, but I mean, Joe Burrow didn't play that much. Jamar Chase still had an insane year. I mean, Jake Browning, it didn't matter. Do you know, I watched the highlight tapes of Chase last year, Donnie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know how many times I heard, well, that ball's underthrown, but caught by Chase? Like, it's Jake Browning out there, and he's still finding ways to figure things out. He's just an insanely dominant player. When the ball's in his hands. I'm always
astounded, Jeff, that he's only 6 feet tall. Like, when you think of Jamar Chase, you think of him like a 6'3", 6'4", absolute demon. And he's only 6 foot.
Yep. I was just going to say that. You view him as having physical attributes that he may not exactly have, but he's just so big and dominant in his role. Yep. He could break you in half at any time. You look at in his career, Donnie, 19 touchdowns of 40 or more yards. And think about that. That's in the NFL. That's not in college. Yep. He's only been in the league 5 seasons. He has almost 6,900 yards in those 5 seasons. We have talked about as well. That's with a quarterback that rarely plays a full season. Right? Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the NFL. Again, I put him pretty highly above everyone else. It's not, and crazy, but he's better than any time. He can hit you anytime, anywhere, anyway. Jamar Chase, that dude.
Durable as well, too, Jeff. You take a look at the 2022 season where he still had 1,000 yards, only played 12 games. But outside of that, 17, 16, 17, and 16. Guy gets it done.
Yeah, that's
and he had 17 touchdown catches in 2024. Good, 1,700 yards with it.
Well, and
beast mode.
Here, what do you think about this quote, Donnie?
Yeah.
This is from an NFL head coach. Mm-hmm. Quote: "He's the best I've gone against. He can break it for 80 yards at any time."
Do you remember when, did he sit out the COVID year? And the thought was he came in and he couldn't catch an NFL football because there was no like little white lines that you have on him as a college football would. Remember those talks? Man, people were idiots.
I have heard that, he's, you hear these stupid things, it's like This is, come on, man. But you always hear that too, Donnie. You have to be big to play receiver.
Yeah,
and it's
big,
like
physical, nasty.
I don't know if you've noticed, but like all of these players are outside
of like super physical. Like Puka's super physical. Your other four guys, Jeff, not super physical, but elite route runners.
And they're also not that tall. Like 6 foot's tall, but like it's not. You're not 6'2", 6'3". Yeah. Like you would think, like as a receiver, that's the kind of player you want. And we've seen the league deviate away from that. Right. At one point, it was the Terrell Owens, the Plaxico Burress,
Randy Moss.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Sure. Big, strong, lanky, go up and get the football type. Yeah. But now it's not. It's about and look. You look at Chase. Screens, slants, deep throws, press coverage, zone cover, whatever. He can fucking dice you up like peppers and onions.
No, I love it. And I think it makes a lot of sense. And again, Jeff's list and ours are similar, just guys in some different positions. So I get to my top 5 and same exactly as Jeff. Number 5 is Puka Nacua. Fantastic wide receiver, absolutely filthy dominant. Could he be a little bit higher? Maybe. But also, when I look at things like coming into the season, statistically, where I think these guys will end up and be the best they can be, he's going to be dominant as long as he's healthy. But also, as we pointed out, he's in the final year of his contract, and he's that dominant. Most players in this position, Jeff, what do they already have? Multi-million-dollar, $100 million, $100 million guaranteed contracts. He doesn't have that because he sort of went off the rails. But I'm still expecting a monster season for Puka Nacua this year. Dominant offense, dominant quarterback, dominant play caller. He should be able to eat there. So, number 4, Jeff. Here's the one for me that I think needs to be a little bit higher, and it's JJ. Now, hear me out on this. I think he is phenomenal. The only reason that his statistics aren't up there with 1,700 and 1,800 yards is his quarterbacking for the past year and a half or so, let's call it, has been absolutely atrocious. Carson Wentz throwing him the football, the bust that's J.J. McCarthy. Now you get Kyler Murray. Am I saying this year, Jeff, he's going to set the world on fire with Kyler Murray? No, but Kyler Murray will buy time and will force feed him the football. I love Justin Jefferson.
Wait, so Donnie, you don't give him credit for catching the ball from Max Brosmer?
I mean brutal. Again, you can see why people get pissed where wide receivers are a different breed where they usually put themselves over the team. Like if the team wins and they get their yardage, it's perfect. If they win and they're not a part of it, sometimes they get upset. And if you are a legendary wide receiver like Justin Jefferson will eventually, I believe, be a Hall of Famer, you look at other guys and you pointed it out. Wait a second. Like Josh Allen's throwing you the football. Joe Burrow's throwing you the football. Max Brosmer, Carson Wentz, and J.J. McCarthy are throwing me the football. Like this guy probably wanted to kill somebody in the locker room.
That's why you give him the benefit of that. But I will just say this. Joe Burrow only played 8 games last year and Jamar Chase had an insane season.
The Flacco who filled like that dude can spin it. You know what I mean? Like who filled in for him for the money
too?
Yeah, those guys will throw the football. Like J.J. McCarthy, he might have been playing back in the 1950s for Army. That guy can't throw the football to save his life.
Right. It was historically bad. I forgot Carson was there, but let me just say this.
Like a brag too.
Anytime we hear about great GMs, you hear about Howie Roseman. Okay. Yes. And I don't disagree either. He's terrific. But we have to highlight truly one of the worst draft decisions of all time in 2020 when the Philadelphia Eagles at 21 took Jalen Reagor, a receiver out of TCU. You know who went next, Donnie? The Minnesota Vikings.
I know. And they were laughing about it. Yeah.
Look, they've won Super Bowls. They've had, great runs. This has been a good 5-year run for the Eagles, but I'm going to guess they would have won a Super Bowl too if they'd have taken Jefferson. And it didn't help that Reagor played a year here and was gone, and I don't even think he's in the league anymore.
The best part about why you're a good general manager as well, when the owner makes that pick and you take the shrapnel for it, that's why you stick around a lot of these guys, man. Owner's medal. That was Jeffrey Lurie's guy, Jalen Reagor. He wanted to sort of step in there, watch video, and look at what was it, the spider dynamics, or whatever they call them, short cone drill and this and that. Reagor was off the charts. Every single person that knew football outside of just using a spreadsheet, Justin Jefferson dropping down that far was an absolute fiefdom by whoever got him. And the fact that Reagor went just ahead of Justin Jefferson when everybody knew Justin Jefferson would be a flat-out superstar, that's crazy work.
You have to think about it. I don't know if I've ever seen a tape of what the Vikings group, like draft room looked like.
Oh, look at it. It's live. Yeah. Mike Zimmer and the boys, they couldn't believe it. They were laughing. They couldn't even believe it.
They had to be like, holy shit, we just pulled off the Lufthansa heist times 10. You know, it is insane to think about. But yeah, I actually didn't know that Lurie was that engaged with that pick.
Yes, he was.
But yeah, you know, look, I love Lurie, great owner.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeffrey. I just
maybe he learned maybe it was good for the Eagles long term though. Like he learned his lesson. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, I thought I was smart. I thought I could be that Jerry Jones general manager and like, hey, man, I'll take the shrapnel. Listen, just Jeffrey, keep my paycheck coming. It's all good, man.
Yeah, just worry about your sweaters tied around your waist and the movie business and going to Cape Cod or wherever the hell it is you go. I love Lurie, by the way. But, I don't – I've always said I hate the owner involvement. Like, let the GM do his job. And you have to wonder, I'm sure Roseman gave him shit for that. Probably still does. But yeah, I can get your point on him for sure. But he's still respectable, and I think he'll bounce back in a big way this year.
All right, let me ask you this question too, because I love Justin Jefferson this year. I love him with Kyler Murray. I like their coach. He just, again, didn't have a quarterback to play with. Justin Jefferson's regular season yardage prop, Jeff, 1150.5. If he stays healthy, he busts that number. Busts right through it.
Yeah, and you mentioned Kyler Murray. A lot of people have given him shit over the years. I'm a fan, personally. I think, say what you want about his physical stature. Yep. He does get injured. He had that video game crap, which is kind of annoying.
Loves Call of Duty. I got to friend him on that, too, when it comes out this year.
Yeah, he loved, he was like, I like playing video games over playing football. But I think I like his risk ability. Like he goes after it, and he put up some numbers, and I think it'll be interesting to see him kind of on the run, out of the pocket, him and Justin Jefferson. I agree. If Kyler stays healthy, Jefferson's going to be force-fed the ball at a high level. I mean, who else is on that team that you want to throw the football to be honest?
Addison, Jeff. Don't leave out my guy Jordan Addison. No, it's Justin Jefferson. He's going to get the football. By the way, that's why Kyler Murray's in town. He will continually force-feed him the football. Now, number 3, Jeff. Similar to your list here, Amon-Ra St. Brown moves up a little bit for me. I love him in that offense there. It's a shame Ben Johnson isn't there to keep dialing it up, but it doesn't matter. As long as he's healthy, he's wide open every single play, and Jared Goff will find him here easily. Number 3 on my numbers. Number 2, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Seattle Seahawks. Almost, it feels like, Jeff, a carbon copy when I put these two guys side by side. JSN and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Get in the slot position. Nobody can defend them. It's 3rd and 7. They're getting the football, and they still beat double coverage and work their guy over. Number 1 for me, Jeff, same as you, Jamar Chase. Just the all-around physical talent. And what works perfectly as well, because Dexter Lawrence on the defensive line, maybe that helps. Al Golden gets him in gear. But my lists are based on what I think of these players coming into 2026. And anytime I look at Cincinnati and go, it's a dream world. If Burrow can stay healthy, right? And expectations, that's what you do. We know, he's going to get injured in week 3. Healthy for T. Higgins, healthy for Jamar Chase. That defense probably gets torn up again. They got to throw and throw and throw and throw some more, man. Sky is the limit, and he's the ultra talent for me in the NFL. He is.
We talked about England earlier. Mm-hmm. The Bengals are kind of England, right? Every year you want to believe. And look, if you asked me who the 6th best team in the league was on that list yesterday, it ain't Seattle. It ain't San Francisco. It ain't the Chargers. Yeah. It's the Bengals for me. I look at what they did. Their offense is as good as anybody in the country, in the league.
Yeah.
You look at their defense. You mentioned added a lot of talent. And what did they also do? Went out and got Boye Mafe, who is from Seattle, came over from the Super Bowl winning Chiefs or Seahawks. Yep. I look at what they did, and I'm very excited about it. They're going to be kind of that trendy pick. But again, it all comes back to the health. But yeah, the list is great. I'm curious though, and we don't have enough time to go over every receiver.
Yes.
I'll just say Pickens is right there for me. CD's right there for me. And I'll just one other guy.
I got one too. Go ahead. Yep.
Who I really like. Mm-hmm. Nico Collins.
I love Nico Collins.
Yeah. And the thing about him is he's one of those more of deep shot options.
Yep. Big body.
I think I read, 30% of his catches are for 20 or more yards, right? He's going to give you big chunks. The issue that I have, and we all know what it is, I just don't think CJ Stroud's very good. And I think he will hold them back. I'd love to see Nico Collins with a real quarterback that can throw the football and get it done. But, A.J. Brown's around, Devontae.
Yeah, and the thing that hurts them, too, is their defense is really good in Houston. So you don't have to just be like, air Coryell out there all game long. But I love Nico Collins. One of those guys I missed in college coming into the pros. Like, he'll be okay. Like, he's a really, really talented wideout. For me, Jeff, and again, I look at 2026 and the reasons. Like, I love Justin Jefferson. Just told you over 1,100 yards, 1,150 yards. He shatters that. As long as his quarterback stays healthy and Kyler Murray, 17 games he's out there, he's going to easily hit that. A.J. Brown left the Philadelphia Eagles. A.J. Brown's not going to the New England Patriots, who I like Drake May as a quarterback, to say, happy to be a team guy. I just left one of the best organizations in sports and the best roster in sports to come to you. Do you know why? Because I want the football. And if you trade for me and don't give me the football, I'll ask out immediately as well. Drake May is going to target A.J. Brown 10 times at a minimum per football game, Jeff. And I look right now at some outlets. A.J. Brown, 1,100 yards receiving. He's going to blow by that. Not because he's really good, which he is, because he will get double targets than anybody on that football team, and he won't have to sulk. I love A.J. Brown over 1,100 yards. He just missed my top 5 because you worry about the knee issues a little bit here, new organization. Okay, I get that. But next year, as long as he does not get injured and doesn't miss more than, let's just say, 3 games, he blows through 1,100 yards because he will be force-fed the football, Jeff. That's why he's there.
Yeah, it sucks how it worked out here with him. I always loved him as a player. He's he's just a big bruising guy. But yeah, he doesn't want to be here anymore. Nope. Yeah, I agree though. I mean, young quarterback. We have a coach who, let's be honest. I mean, he can be told what to do, I think, a little bit. And he knows who butters the bread. Who else are you really worried about up there to throw the ball to? Keyshawn Boutte, and it's going to be A.J. Brown.
Booty. Exactly. It's going to be all A.J. Brown. Like, I'm excited about that. And again, just talking about football and talking about, I cannot wait. Because I'm not really a season-long guy, but I love those 2 wide receivers. Futures wagers guy. I love week to week. I love getting into the, running backs props, the wide receiver props, the tight end props, the quarterback props, team totals, all coming forward. And I cannot wait to get there. But we're going to take a quick break right now, because we got another list you're not going to want to miss out on. 1990s and 2000s here. We're going to take you back, people, and give us the top 5 rap artists here / songs that we love. We'll be right back after this quick break on Crossing Lines. Shout it out, baby. Love it, man. Having a good time here on a Thursday. Not a lot going on, but the competition is hot with what we're about to get to in our top 5. But before we get there, a lot of people watching the show. Thank you for tuning in. Thumbs up if you are watching YouTube. Click it right now. If you're watching live, do it. If you're catching our show later, do it at that point. Leave a comment. If you do, I'm going to answer back. You know I will. A hater comment, love it. A love comment, love that as well. But also, hit that subscriber link as well. And if you are watching on any social media platforms right now, thank you for doing that. If you are watching over there on Twitter, come on over into the chat box and say hello. It's how we get down the business, building the show brick by brick, one day at a time, Jeff. Because once we start to get to football season, which is right around the corner, the rocket ships take off. But I love these days because most people go like, what are you going to have a show for, Jeff? It's only one game. It's the Phillies and the Mets today. This is why we have these shows, because we give you the information that you need, which includes, Jeff, songs that we love. And again, I preface this, Jeff. It's songs that we love. Jeff, Nadu, Donnie, Rightside. Not consensus top 5 who sold the most albums in the 90s or 2000s. Let's get that out of the way, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to find me with that. I don't care about that. And by the way, shout out to anybody checking us out on Twitter. I got some DMs about people watching. Shout out to you guys.
Damn right.
Shout out to anybody that checks out this show. Appreciate you. Yeah, no, this is, again, anytime you do a list, this is favorite, your favorite.
Oh, Jeff,
right?
Your list sucks. Well, it's my list. Thanks.
Yep. Feel free to create your own. I don't know how many times I got to say that. And no offense, to be quite honest with you, you may not care about mine. believe me, I don't give a shit about yours either. Look, maybe you like Tech Nine or some random rapper. Like, and look, remember too, like we're East Coast people. I'm an East Coast guy. Every person I have, every song I have, East Coast, right? I didn't grow up in Oakland. Okay, look, is E40 talented? Probably.
Mine is all East Coast as well. And again, I love Tupac Shakur. I love Dr. Dre. I love Snoop Dogg. But again, you have to understand this, people. This is top 5. Like, it's not like, hey, just like, because those guys would be in the top 10 probably with a couple songs and a couple albums here. But I am sticking East Coast here.
Yeah, like me personally, if you said to me, who's a top 5 rapper of all time? Is it Tupac? No, he isn't. Not to me. I like Tupac. I don't. Yeah. Is he the best top 5 to me in my personal opinions? No. Yeah. So let's get into mine. You want to do mine or yours first?
No, you go. Let it rip, man. Let's do it. Number 5 from Jeff Nadu. Go.
Yeah, coming in at number 5, one of the greatest beats of all. All right. We're just going to throw all the songs up there.
Dun, dun. We didn't go one by one, Jeff. Yeah.
This kills me. Okay. Well,
I can feel it.
There's my list.
There, I'm singing for you in the background.
It's a great
song. I know it. Yeah.
The beat is just when I hear it, it just brings back a lot, because this was my essence of growing up, like the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And I was a state property Rockefeller guy through and through. I mean, you can see that in my first selection there. I think that my 2 favorite albums of all time are Philadelphia Freeway, which is the number 1 there, and The Becoming, which is the 5th there. 2 of my favorite. Feel It in the Air. It tells the story, Donnie, and I'd like to kind of give a thought of why these songs were made. Feel It in the Air is about Beans' career as being in the street still, but trying to move on in his life, and his concern with him leaving that life, but he still believes that it's after him. And if you watch the video, you can see where he's essentially in a house. It's a cold fall day, and the police come to his house and kick his door in, and it tells the story. And that's that album, because that's around when Beans is really trying to leave the streets. He had been involved in some shootings. He had, attempted murder on his case out of a case in Philadelphia. So Beanie Siegel is my favorite rapper of all time. There's just something that I just love about him, and it always will. Plus, he's a South Philly guy. Shout out to Beans. Yeah. Number 4.
Yep.
We'll go back to that list there.
You might show it at the end, Jeff. Keep in suspense if they haven't tuned in or not paying attention. Yeah. Go ahead and give number 4.
Okay, number 4. Where are we at here? DMX, Slippin'. I'm Falling. I Can't Get Up. Another song about the past. A lot of people say this is one of the most emotional rap songs of all time, and it is. This was actually played, Donnie, at DMX's tax evasion trial, where they try to discuss his past and his life growing up, which is incredibly poor in Yonkers. And if you listen to it, it's about him kind of getting off, being on drugs, trying to keep that away from his children, and battling demons that he had. It's a very sad song. The beat is very sad. It's very poignant. And when you hear that after the fact that DMX died, it very much is an emotional track. Number 3.
Yep.
Song Cry by Jay-Z. It's about a woman.
Let me just get a quick, because I saw that on the list. I didn't want to look it up because it's from my favorite album by Jay-Z, is Reasonable Doubt. I had very bad credit. It's not? What one is it from? Damn it.
It was on the blueprint.
It was. You had very bad credit. You helped me lease that whip. You helped me get that keys to that V.6. Go ahead.
You love me like cook food. Yeah. It's essentially about a girl that he knows isn't right for him, but he can't really let it go, right? And, that's one thing about Jay-Z. I think, there's 2 different types of rappers for me. They're my favorite, and then there's the ones that I think are just better than everybody else. And to me, all time, I think Jay-Z and Nas are just on another level than everybody else. You look at the career, the longevity. I mean, just think of how many songs Jay-Z's put out. It's really unbelievable. But Song Cry, the beat, the singing at the beginning, it'll just always, do something for me. I really can't explain the nostalgia I feel from it. And look, one thing about Biggie that I always enjoyed was it wasn't just street shit for Biggie. Mm-hmm. Biggie always was willing to talk about women and, his life, as overweight and some of his suicidal thoughts that he had.
Yeah.
But Donnie, the lyric that I love most in this song, they say you can't turn a bad girl good.
Yeah.
But once a good girl's gone bad,
Gone forever.
she's gone forever. I'll mourn forever. Should I got to live with the fact I did you wrong forever? Like, just the wordplay there is just, it's really unmatched to me. And it's my favorite Hove song of all time. There's a lot of them, but number 2, a politically charged track from the greatest rapper of all time. Just a beautifully well done. It starts slow and it just gets more and more punishable. One Mic by Nas. It's on Stillmatic, which I have talked about was my foray into rap as a 12-year-old child at the bus stop. I remember the first time I ever heard One Mic in Ether. It changed me as a human being. It took me from being a child to understanding there's this whole other world out there that I really wasn't a part of necessarily, but I wanted to be, right? And that could sound corny to people, but it really meant something to me. One Mic is a beautiful, amazing track. I still listen to it today. And you know that track, Donnie. It starts really slow, and then he just starts almost by the end, just
comes
yelling
crescendo.
at you, really. Yeah.
No,
it's very charged.
Track. Made You Look for Me is my favorite Nas.
Made You Look is one of the best beats he ever put out.
Correct.
Listen, there's no better beat, like as far as beats
I don't think
songs,
there's a better lyricist all time than Nas, to be honest.
No.
Even forget about the beats, just a pure lyricist where when you hear him rap, it's like he's way better than the other guy he just did. Like, you don't want to put Nas on a rap compilation with like 4 or 5 other guys on the same track. He'll steal it every time.
No. Yeah. And one thing about Nas that I really respect is like if you listen to like outside of AZ, most of Nas's tracks are completely AZ's one if we
fantastic. He's on my playlist all day long.
5 underrated rappers of all time, AZ's in there. But no, Nas always did solo, right? And look, Stillmatic is my favorite album by Nas, but what's insane is that was after Illmatic, which is arguably the best album ever made. And when you hear boom, 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 like there's just so many tracks that he put out that are just iconic. And his beats, whether it be from Premier or whoever, they're just iconic. My favorite rap song of all time, Every Word. If you're from Philadelphia, from this area, and you cannot give every word to this track, I don't want to hear you talk to me about rap ever. I don't care if you're white, Spanish, Asian, black. If you say you like rap and are from the tri-state Philadelphia area, and I'm talking about within 20 miles, and you cannot rap at least a verse of What We Do by Freeway, Jay-Z, and Beanie Siegel, I just don't really respect your opinion on rap. It's another, again, I'm a very big fan, Donnie, of gritty, street, hood, gutter rap. I don't really care for like the party anthems, the tracks. I respect them. They're just not for me. I like gutter, state property jacket, Around a Fire. There's just, that song will always be, to me, not just a top 5 rap song of all time. It's a top 5 song ever written for me. And it's about their past. It's their lives growing up. It's perfect.
Yeah. By the way, Coach out there, Tina didn't have you as a Mariah Carey fan. Love it. Mariah Carey, my heyday in the early 90s, mid 90s, fantasy, monster song my senior year. And a lot of these bring back nostalgia, Jeff's talking about, like where you were in your time. You can almost remember exactly where you were when you were listening to this music. So if I get to my top 5, number 5, you might say like, wow, didn't know Donnie actually liked this stuff here. Criminology, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer off the Cuban Links track, which was a purple tape. And I can see it right now as I envision it. Like we're talking about 1995, the fall. And we're sitting now in July of 2026. I was at a party my senior year in the fall during football season. Somebody put that track on, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing, Jeff. And I made that person continue to rewind it, yes, because we had to rewind the tape deck back in the day, and keep playing it. Criminology between those two. I can remember exact moments in the fall of 95 where I heard that song. I absolutely love it and still listen to it just about weekly at this point, Jeff. I love it.
Yeah, so
only built for Cuban Links.
Yeah, only built for Cuban Links. Look, my favorite 2 Wu-Tang are Raekwon and Ghostface, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you a story about that album.
Yeah.
It was originally supposed to be called Wu Gambinos, which there's a track on that album called Wu Gambinos.
Yep.
So Raekwon told this story in an interview he did on Vlad TV. When they were making that album, they wanted to call it Wu Gambinos. And Steve Rifkin, who was a record guy, his father, Jules Rifkin, was like a legend in the business in the 60s, 70s. He had gotten a call in 1995 from the Gambino crime family, an individual in the Gambino crime family, and basically said, look, you're not calling it Wu Gambinos. It's not going to happen. Find a new name. And he told his son, Steve Rifkin, and Rifkin went to Raekwon and said, look, you cannot call it Wu Gambinos. And he said, well, why? We're trying to immortalize. He said, no, it's not going to happen. Don't call it Wu Gambinos. And it's kind of similar to, in turn, like The Godfather. If you notice in The Godfather, they never reference the mafia. Okay, and that was because the real-life Colombo crime family said, look, you can make this film, but do not reference the word mafia. Don't say the word mob. Yep. The mob has been very involved. And look, if you look into the Gambinos, they were connected to Puff Daddy at one point, certain rappers as well. So, yeah, I always loved Incarcerated Scarfaces. That's a great track on there. Yeah. Criminology is a great track on there. Yep. I love it. I'm glad you brought up Wu-Tang. Very grimy beat as well.
Yeah, we're going to have Wu-Tang make a, another surface here in my top 5 in just a few moments. But one of these songs that hit absolutely hard, and you might be able to say one of the best combinations and lyricists that you can have. Mobb Deep, Shook Ones. Absolutely fantastic. Like, I can see it right now watching that video where they're cruising along, and I think they're Jetta across the bridge, and the Hennessy jerseys here. Absolutely sensational. And also, pour out a little 40 there, and you take a look at Havoc and Prodigy. Like, Prodigy was awesome, man. Mobb Deep, Shook Ones, legendary track. The minute that you hear the tick, 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 it's about to hit, and that song was phenomenal, man, in the 90s.
There's no argument it is the best beat ever made. Ever. Yeah, Shook Ones, Part 2.
Oh, goodness.
And listen, I think Prodigy and Havoc, like, as far as a group is concerned, like, we talked about Nas and AZ. They were more of just like partners on songs. I always have said the best group of all time in rap is Mobb Deep. I love Got It Twisted. That was a song they did much later. I liked Out of Control. They did that song with 50 Cent. Yeah. But then you look at like Shook Ones, you look at some of their early stuff. And look, Donnie, is it more iconic that it was featured in 8 Mile? Because that scene is legendary, obviously, where Eminem battles for the last time. Yeah, it's the best beat. You would agree it's the best beat of all time.
It's awesome. Right? It's like it hits you right away, and the staying power of music and songs like that, where it doesn't matter. Like, you could be 13 years old right now, growing up in New York City or Los Angeles. That comes on, the song. Like, I never heard that before, Dad. Or that's interesting. Everybody knows that song. Like, the minute that it hits. You might say, oh, what was Shook Ones? I don't remember that. And all of a sudden you hear the first 5 seconds, know it exactly, and you could probably sing along all the way through. Yeah.
And the message behind the song is great. A halfway crook is a fake, a phony.
Yes.
Someone who pretends.
They shook, man. When you get in that moment, Jeff, a halfway crook is shook. He's not acting. He's not being aggressive. He's frozen against the wall, man. Come on.
And I've always said, like when on my show and stuff, I always talk about it. The real tough guy is not the guy that will tell you how tough he is. It's the guy that'll just come up to you, shoot you in the back of the head, walk away, and then go have dinner. Like, that's the real tough guy. And a halfway crook is the rest. That's such an iconic song. I will disagree, though. I don't think these stupid young kids today, they couldn't tell you that song.
They have to, though.
No.
Maybe
maybe like 1 out of 5, but not. Bro, these kids don't know who Nas is. I heard a kid yesterday at Barstool.
Mumble rap's big?
I like a kid, Nicky Smokes Barstool. He's telling us that Drake's the best rapper ever.
Yeah, come on.
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Get some Nas in your life, bro.
Get some Nas in your life. By the way, number 3, like I already talked about, Raekwon the Chef and Ghostface Killah, also a part of Wu-Tang Clan. But let's get to Wu-Tang Clan. Cream, man. I mean, my God, like, just bringing back like where I can listen. Yeah, I could listen to these songs on repeat all day and never get tired of it. I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times side. Staying alive was no job. Hands. Mom bounced on old man, and then we moved the show. Like, I love that stuff, man. Like, it hits you. Like, these songs, the minute they come on, they rock. They don't build up for 15, 20, 30 seconds. They hit you in the mouth with a slug, Jeff.
Yeah, and I never knew about that beat. It was actually made in 1989, and RZA just sat on the beat for a while, and they never could figure out what to do with it. And yeah, it's another one. I would probably say it's probably top 5, top 10 beats of all time.
Dollar bills, y'all. I mean, when that group was so phenomenal all the way through, and when they hit, they hit hard, man, because you had everything. Fantastic lyricists here, people writing the tunes, the delivery of it, and also some of the best beat makers in the background were just iconic tunes, man. Like Cash Rules Everything Around Me. Fantastic, man. And who didn't sing that in the 90s and 2000s?
Oh, no. And if you, again, it's one of those things as a rap band, if you don't know what CREAM is, like the initials,
acronym, I guess.
Yeah, you don't know anything. And look, they were from Staten Island, which, rap was Harlem, Brooklyn, right? And you see Staten Island, you're like, Staten Island. Yeah, like who's scared of anybody from there, But yeah, no, they iconic. It's a great song. You're not going to get any argument from me.
Let's go over to the Oranges in New Jersey. And this, again, has a lot of feel. Me growing up in the 1990s, this song came out in 1992. And when I was still in high school and we were basketball and we were in warm-ups, we played this song because I made them play this song, and I love this song. And also, off the movie soundtrack Juice, which is one of my favorite. Donnie, 48-year-old white guy, loves every time it's on. I forced my wife to watch it, and she would have to leave the room because I'm not turning it off. I loved it. Tupac Shakur in the music video, Uptown Anthem by Naughty by Nature. Another one of those tracks that when it hits with the piano, and I sent out the little tweet for the show, like, hey, get ready for the show. It's in the background now. I love Uptown Anthem. I love the fact that they sang it. I love the beat. I love the move. And I love that Tupac was in the music video as well.
When I hear the piano, the dun,
yes.
dun, dun, dun,
fantastic. Yeah.
Like it's very like New York, New Jersey, right? Yes. Very gutter, very gritty. Yep. And you think of when I hear an organ or a piano in the rap world, I think of the Knicks, right? Yep. Because they have that organ. It's just very New York, right? Naughty by Nature is underrated as well, in general. But
the Oranges in New Jersey, man,
East Orange,
real big.
Sure.
Like I love, and like OPP, like they were legend. Like also, like my wife is from South Philadelphia, Italian girl. You know what they would have pictures of, Jeff? If I go back, look at about 92, 93, the Naughty by Nature hoodie. It was everywhere. It was everywhere.
Yeah. South Philly's a place, one thing about the Italians in South Philly, very, very urban, right? Yeah. They understand rap. They understand, like Joey Merlino. Joey's very involved. Like he's very connected with the black community. He was involved with rap. You ever hear that story he told about Eve, the rapper Eve?
No.
I'll tell you real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eve. Like she was in barbershop, that sort of shit. He said, so he had a guy at the time, Tommy Hill. Tommy Hill was this big time guy, a big rapper in the city. And Joey and this Jewish guy were able to get him a deal. And they set him up at the Packer Avenue Holiday Inn when it was still there. And Joey went by there one time. It was like right before he was arrested. Yeah. He went by there and knocked on the door because they were having some complaints about the noise and stuff. And this girl answers the door, and it's Eve. And he says, hey, is Tommy here? She goes, yeah. But she goes, I heard you got him a deal. She goes, you think you get me a deal? And she goes, my name is Eve. And he didn't really pay it no mind. Yeah. He ended up getting arrested, right? And he said he was in jail. And he said he turned on the TV, and the Eve was on MTV. And he said, if I hadn't gotten arrested, I'd have gotten her a deal. Who knows where we would have been now, you know? And you look at her now, I mean, she's in films and all sorts of stuff, but that's just kind of how the world works. But yeah, South Philly always been very connected to the rap world. I didn't know so wait, your wife had a Naughty by Nature hoodie?
Naughty by Nature hoodie in the 90s. Absolutely. 1,000%. Jackson Avenue, right down on Jackson, man. She'll tell you all the time. 10th and Jackson. Let's go.
Sure. 10th and Jackson. Very notorious corner. Sure.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I think
that's where the old, well, we just talked about the Philly mob. That's their corner, basically. 10th and Snyder, 10th and Jackson. Angelo Bruno was killed on 10th and Snyder. Merlino grew up on 10th and Jackson. The Epiphany Church is right there.
See that? All the way through. St. Monica's, every parish. Come on, man. We're all the way. We're South Philly up in this house. But number one for me, again, goes back. My favorite rapper of all time is Biggie Smalls. And you might say, like, well, maybe some of the lyricists. And again, he wasn't that long because obviously got shot in 1996. But understand this. One More Chance by Biggie Smalls. That was the summer of my senior year, and it literally played, Jeff, from early summer all the way through the end of summer, all the way through that fall in the football season. It's and all genre. It's my favorite song of all time, and I loved it when it came out, and I love it to this day. And it just, sometimes you hear songs, lyrics, and rappers and artists, and it brings you back to that time where you would, if I could say, Donnie, go back in time right now to one time for a 5-month period it would be the summer of 1995, which started my senior year, and right through till the new year here. That football fall summer season was my favorite time in my entire life, and that was my song of the summer, man. Biggie, One More Chance.
When he says, when it comes to sex, I'm similar to the Thriller in Manila. Honeys call me Biggie, the condom filler. He had some wild verses. You know, he was a big sex guy, you know, loved women, you know.
Biggie, give me one more chance. Oh, man.
We all have our things. It wouldn't be my favorite Biggie song of all time, but I understand the iconic, the Faith Evans stuff. Like, I get it.
Everybody in the music video and the house, and, you know, who was it at the front door? It was, come on, man. Who's the rapper that was at the front door here? That was,
I haven't seen the video in a while. I know there's a very young Aaliyah in the video.
Everybody's in that video. It's one of my favorites. But that's the top 5 for me. That's the top 5 from Jeff Nadu. It's fun, Jeff. Sometimes just go to memory lane and reminisce. But again, top 5s, you can make top 10s, top 15s, top 40s, top 100s. But you had to sort of say, all right, got to chop some of these things out and get after it. But that was for me, man. That was for me.
I could talk about that kind of stuff for forever. I love those years. I miss those days. You know, some will never get back, but at least we have the
remix of One More Chance. Oh man, take me back to 1995. But Jeff, you want to take me back to Major League Baseball today? We got action on the diamond today, Jeff, and only one game, which is really interesting. It's the Phillies and the New York Mets. The Phillies are a slight favorite tonight, -130, -135, depending on where you're shopping at. Total open to 10 at some outlets, but it's back to 9.5. And by the way, it's hot in the Northeast, 95, 96 degrees by the time you get the first pitch. Wind isn't blowing out, but smoky, filthy, terrible air quality conditions. But I still think that ball is going to fly tonight, Jeff. Why? The pitching matchup. Scott for the New York Mets don't care about. You see that graphic right there. Now, we don't have a P on the hat, but that is Aaron Nola. And he is a Phillies pitcher, which sometimes tends to have good starts, sometimes gets bombed here. And I like a couple spots here with the New York Mets today, Jeff. I'm not saying the Phillies don't win the game. Mets are scoring some runs. I got a couple RB props that I like. Did you look at this game at all today?
Yeah, I played the Mets here, plus 115. Aaron Nola's just not good. I mean, I don't know why we have to keep pretending he's like some great top shelf starter. And Donnie, look, he's actually,
I don't think he's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's significantly worse at home as well. I mean, you look at in Citizens Bank Park this year, he's got a whip of 1.7.
Yeah.
Opponent's hitting 319 off of him in that building. I mean, it's not been a few games. It's been the whole season. Last 7 starts, 6 ERA, 1.5 whip. I mean, lefties and righties hit him hard.
They do.
Look, the Mets aren't any great shake. I don't really care much about the pitcher on the other side. I just don't think Nola's very good. And I think the Mets, you know, we're starting to see that, you know, no one really wants to back the Mets yet. You know, this number's going the way we want it to. I like the Mets here. I think it's a nice little plus money price coming off the All-Star break. I don't know if it's going to change much for Nola. I like the Mets. I took them here.
Yeah, I took a look at Aaron Nola. Last 116 batters he's faced, a 274 ISO against, a 356 weighted on base percentage. Now, he does get a decent amount of strikeouts, but in this lineup today, Jeff, 1 through 8, very good numbers where they don't strike out against right-handed pitching for the New York Mets. Now, I'm not playing a team total. I'm taking a couple RBI props today. So, again, if I look at Aaron Nola, he's a righty. I want to be a left-handed batter, and I think they could take some advantages here. So you start off, so last 64 bats against right-handed pitching. Juan Soto, 417 ISO and a 483 weighted on base percentage. Now, granted, you're not going to be getting some of those options like, hey, I'm going to take plus 210. You're not get that with Juan Soto. It's only a plus 110, but it's still plus money. I took him as part of my 2 shots on RBI. Second guy I'm going to go with, due to bat 5th tonight as we anticipate, left-handed batter Carson Bench. 69 at-bats against right-handed pitching over his past month, Jeff. A 230 ISO and a 425 weighted on base percentage. He, though, is a plus 188 to get an RBI. Now, I'm up a little bit over 20 units on the Major League Baseball season, so I'm going to take Soto tonight and Bench each to get an RBI. And again, I preface this. The goal is to get one of those. It doesn't matter, and yes, I'm going to cheer Benj a little bit more than Soto, but if either one of these guys catches an RBI tonight, it's plus one in your pocket. Get both of them, it's a fantastic night. I'll keep rolling on RBI props tonight, but Soto and Benj for me tonight, each to get an RBI, makes a lot of sense.
It's not like the Phillies bullpen's any great shake either. So, yeah, I think we kind of align on the Mets in general a little bit here. You have more of the props. I'll be going with the side. I like the Mets. Nice plus money. I'll take it.
Yeah, always tough too, by the way. Like, tread lightly. Heading into the All-Star break, heading out of the All-Star break. Some of these dudes really let loose for that couple days here and then just got to show up in 95-degree weather and get back to a baseball game. We'll see what happens there. But also, Jeff, just wanted to have a quick PSA about approaching the second half in Major League Baseball because it's different from the first. The haves and the have-nots are here, Jeff. And pretty soon we'll be talking about the trade deadline in Major League Baseball. Then it gets even worse. Those numbers, let's just say the Yankees were minus 150s in April, May, and June. They turn into minus 175s, minus 185s, minus 195s, minus 225s. Why? Because you're going to have winners and losers. You're going to have organizations that are saying, we're going all in. We want to make the playoffs and win a World Series. But on the opposite side, Jeff, you're going to have teams that say, we don't care about winning. We actually don't want to win. And we're going to take a look at, our closer was supposed to start tonight. Finish this game. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the AAA guy and how he deals with a high leverage situation. Buyer beware on some of these dogs, but also understand this. Those dogs are going to be coming at a premium price. Why? Because the tax is huge on these favorites. The Yankees, the Phillies, the Atlanta Braves, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the better teams in baseball, which again, you could have had a minus 150, minus 160 price. The tax is coming on those teams because we know they need to win games and the other teams don't need to win games. So for me, myself, you got to make sure you're seeing exactly what you're seeing on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes betting maybe your first 5 innings would be better for full-time or vice versa. It gets tricky at this time of year where it was basically a blueprint in May and June because everybody is trying to win. That's no longer the case, Jeff, in the second half of the Major League Baseball season.
Yeah, I generally stop betting baseball come August. I'm just focused on football, and it's just always something I've done. I've been a decent year with it, though. It's been a fun run. But yeah, it's a whole different world now where by August 1st, certain teams are just going to be done. They don't care.
Don't care anymore. Correct.
Look, obviously it's not a secret. Temps are getting hotter and hotter.
Yep.
It's going to make for higher scores, that sort of thing.
All right, Jeff, let's get to some of these trending topics that we love here at the back end of the show. And if you watched the ESPYs last night, you might have thought it was just a music video for the New York Knicks. Why? The Knicks feel like they won everything, Jeff. Best male athlete went to Jalen Brunson. Best championship performance. That went to Jalen Brunson. Best NBA player also went to Jalen Brunson. Best play, you called it, Jeff. OG Anunoby's tip in the NBA Finals. And best team, the New York Knicks. So the Knicks felt like they sweeping the card last night, man.
Yeah, it's no surprise. I forgot this was on. I didn't even watch it. But
I didn't watch it at all.
But who's the white guy there? Oh, is that the guy that got confused in the? Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was his name? God damn it.
Kolek.
Yeah, Tyler Kolek, Marquette. Yeah.
Yeah. Look. You had to figure out what happened. They've sure gotten their run. Look. We really believe he's the best NBA player? No, but he had the best season, so you got to.
And he wanted to show up. You know what I mean? Also, it's I guess voted on by, I don't know, is it ESPN? It's ESPN slanted because of course, like they have the NBA, it's their product. They have the WNBA, it's their product. Like they're gonna push those products more than any other one. So sweeping the board for the New York Knicks. And also, they probably agreed to show up, and it's like great, that's great for TV.
That's why I love Jokic, because you'd have to pay him like $1 billion to get
yeah. Or he would do it. How many times you see the music awards, right? Like, hey, winner is Britney Spears. Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be there live. I'm out on tour at this point. You know what I mean? Like at least they showed up. Like how many times? Like Jokic would be over 10 time zones away on a horse, be like, hey, thanks guys, really appreciate it. Sorry, I
don't even think he'd do that. I think he'd just be like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not doing that. Like.
Didn't they bring him the MVP award on like his horse ranch the one year? Didn't they do that? Like they actually presented it to him in his stable?
Like there's no better guy in the world that like does his job so well and just does not care about anything America. Yeah. And that guy, I respect that. He ain't American. He doesn't want to ever be here. It's just his job and that's it.
Yeah. Next one, Jeff. Have you, I don't think you have, or let's just ask you better. Would you do this? There's some video going around against some of the paratroopers that jumped out of an airplane and landed in the Citizens Bank ballpark for the All-Star game. I understand military purposes, Jeff, that you do need this, and that's, hey, we're going to invade a country or we're going to go in and take somebody out. We're going to parachute in. I get that. People parachute for the fun of it, Jeff. Some people are thrill seekers. I'm not that type of guy, man. If I jump and that parachute doesn't open, it's over. And all I do is I'm going down, looking around, going like, yeah, I caused this. Well, I'm jumping out of an airplane like an idiot. Would you ever, or have you ever, jumped out of an airplane, or would you skydive?
I wouldn't jump out of a 2-story house.
Hey.
I don't understand this. I said before, you can't get hurt if you're just on the ground. Like if you get hurt, you get hurt. But at least I know that,
like doing it to yourself, right? Like,
I'm not,
why did I just do this? Hey, I bungee jumped and the line broke and I broke my neck, but now I'm a quadriplegic. You did it to yourself.
You could offer me $1 billion. I wouldn't do this. I have no interest. I don't want to jump out of buildings. I don't want to jump off a rock into the water. I don't want to get into the ocean. I don't want to do any of that. And if that makes me boring, then so be it.
Jeff, you're a movie
I don't get
guy.
on roller coasters even.
I love it. See, I'm scared to death of heights, but I love roller coasters. I love controlled environments. Like, hey, you scared of heights? You can look out a plane window? Yeah, it's not the same as me looking over a 4th story on a mall or sitting on a roof.
Even a plane, I understand you have to do it.
Yeah.
I don't open the window. And I've always said the concern I have with a plane is not the plane itself, it's the people flying the plane. When you're on a roller coaster, those people that work there, they get paid nothing. Like they don't care.
You see some people, Jeff, don't get strapped in appropriately, and that's got to be hell, man. Hanging on for dear life on a roller coaster that goes upside down when your harness is busted. Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't like. I remember when I was a kid at what was it, Wonderland Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey. There was one of those Mighty Mouse rides, and there was like a derailment or whatever. Think about it here where I live. We have a railroad track right out front. I always think like, what if a train derails? Like it's more about the radioactive stuff too. But yeah, all that thrill-seeking stuff, like even down to like a simple thought of like people smoke weed, Donnie.
No.
I have some irreparable fear that it'll be laced with something. I know it won't be, but I don't want to take a chance. If I just don't do it, I don't got to worry about it.
Keeps you straight and on the narrow at this point, Jeff. But we talk about movies at time to time, and one of the series I love, and I can watch them endlessly, and I will fight people, and I'll probably be wrong, but that's my own opinion, like Rocky 3 and Rocky 4, better than 1 and 2. Absolutely love them. Love the soundtracks. Did you know, Jeff, a new movie coming out this fall, I Play Rocky, and the videos are out there for the trailers, looks phenomenal. It's about, Jeff, Sly Stallone's real life while he was trying to get Rocky on the screen. I'm in. November 20th, your boy DRS, movie theater, surround sound, 3D, you got it. I'm in.
When I first read this, I thought it meant like it would be like a film in the Rocky series about his life growing up. And I'm like, well, how would that be interesting at all? But it's like
a prequel.
No, yeah, it's actually about his real, right. But it's actually about like his life.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his, but I think as Rocky, he's iconic. So yeah, I'll definitely watch that. Also, like you see these people like crossing line says, gotta live life. Like, so you have to live life by jumping out of a plane?
They're saying you're not awake, Jeff, until you've jumped out of a plane before.
Also, I see someone says I have enemies by the way I talk. Why? Because I don't want to skydive? What the fuck are you talking about?
The skydiving world
like,
doesn't like
I
it,
think
Jeff.
you're an insane person. I would probably not be friends with you if you jumped out. I don't want to do that. That's not fun to me. Do what you got to do. If that's what's fun for you, then do it. That ain't fun.
I'm not jumping out of a plane. Not fun for me because, again, it's only your fault if something goes wrong at this point. Now, Jeff, we've talked about this topic time and time again, and you said it very astutely. Today's Thursday. There ain't much going on. Friday, not really the same thing, but today feels like a perfect day. We're talking LeBron James. Now, what do you take from this? Because I know you love to get information based on somebody told somebody this, and I got it on good authority. There's a video going around right now, Jeff. Steve Kerr, out of light, rolls his window down. Warriors fans say, we got to get LeBron James. And Steve Kerr tells him back, oh, we got him. Belief? Not belief? Markets are pushing Golden State higher, Jeff. What do you make of this, though? Steve Kerr saying we got him. Is he lying, just having fun, or is that the case?
I mean, what do you say? Like, you just say something, that you think would be fun.
Yeah, but he knows he's on tape, though, Jeff, too. Like, this isn't one of those, like, hey, I'm having a meal at a 5-star restaurant. Hey, Steve, what do you think? He's like, yeah, we got him. He's talking on camera and says, oh, we got him?
Can you play that? Man. I'd like to hear that. Can we play that?
I don't know. I guess we don't have the audio.
Is there sound?
That's what he's telling him. That they're asking him the question, we got to get LeBron James. We got to get LeBron James. And he responds, oh, we got him.
Yeah, it could just be like, it's one of those like goofy dad answers. Oh, yeah, we got
You're
him.
right. I'm with you on that. Like, I want to think like he wouldn't say that, but then again, knowing he's on camera, why would you say that then? On camera, you just be, hey, we'll see, man. Hey, he's a great player, man. Hey, we'll see what happens. He's very authoritative right there that he's saying it. So let me just go. I'm going to go to one of the predictive markets right now. Oh, yeah, look at this. Oh, look at this. Dead heat now, Jeff. Oh, Cleveland 38, Golden State 37. Now it goes back to 38-38.
Yeah, I don't think it means too much. I mean, but like, Donnie, if like someone comes up to you that like may recognize you, like they may say something to you like you just don't care about. You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Yeah. Like people come up to me all the time and they mention the same shit every time, and I'm just always like, oh yeah, you're right. Now. It's funny. Wow. I don't care about these markets. I don't know what. Like, announce it already. Like,
you know what?
I'm kind of just getting irritated.
Let me see this too. I sent a poll out this morning, Jeff, and let me just see because it was real close on if LeBron James is actually going to, say today is the day I'm going to make that decision. Let me scroll through to see what I got on this. All right, it looks like, Jeff, 201 votes. Yes, 55%. No, 44%. Obviously, 55.2, 44.8 to the yes, slightly here. Do you think that happens today, Jeff? I think it does.
I got to just be real. Like,
go ahead.
Who cares? Like, just
come on. You got to
stop talking about this.
If you you are a gambling man today.
I told you. I'm going to say Cleveland.
But no, not where he goes. When he announces.
Again, I thought it would have been today.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, he's just. This is where it gets irritating with him. It's like, I get you're a showman, whatever. But it's like, just do it already. I would imagine by tomorrow, but I'm sure it will be this weekend. Who knows?
Yep. Let's double down.
We thought it'd be last week.
Yeah, me too. I thought it'd be last Friday, but he straightened it out. There's no World Cup action. Podcasts need to get out. Which lineup would LeBron James be with? And to me, again, Cleveland, Golden State, Philadelphia, and the Heat. These are the teams that we figure are still technically on the table. I don't even think it's close. It's the Sixers. I don't think it's close.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it makes the most sense. I think it makes the most, as far as formidable, it looks the most formidable.
Yeah.
I could see where, Golden State, if I'm picking, it'd be the Sixers or Golden State for me. Because you look at kind of where they are, Golden State, they have obviously a legendary point guard. He kind of fits on the wing. I don't love their wing options. Draymond Green's more of a defensive force. I think either the Sixers, 1, 2 Warriors, 3 Heat, 4 Cleveland. You know what would make me not want to go to Cleveland?
Cold weather?
James Harden.
Putting up with them?
Yep.
Going out to the club? Having some fun at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. We just know how he is, I would pick Philly, but but like the whole we got him thing. Well, I also saw recently that we talked about it. The Sixers called him, it's like, I'm sure they think they get him. He probably says the same shit to everybody. Oh yeah, we'll think about it. We'll talk.
That's so interesting too. And again, the markets are reacting. It was Cleveland every single day by a wide margin with those, other 20%, 15%, 10%, Sixers, Golden State, Miami Heat. But now they were in a de facto dead heat right now. It's very interesting because the predictive markets are usually pretty good with that stuff, but nobody knows until LeBron James actually says where he's going. We're going to leave with this topic today, Jeff. Conor McGregor pissed everybody off on Saturday night. We were expecting a fight at least to go a couple rounds and maybe he could get some nostalgia and he could start swinging. Well, he puts out comments, Conor McGregor, a few notes. Number one, I will have the results of my scan on my leg tomorrow, which what the hell who waits this long to get a scan on your leg? Number two, the fight should be a no contest and all bets returned. So I ask you this, Jeff, if that's the case, did he give all $30 million back for the fight then too?
Of course not.
No,
of course not. And that would be the response that I would have to him. And it's not going to happen. The bets have already been ruled. I think a lot of people were quite happy with the result. When you have a bet, Donnie, you don't care if it, the cool thing about a fight is it could happen within 5 seconds.
Yes.
You get paid within
Correct.
5 seconds.
Yep.
If you bet an NBA game or a baseball game, you got to wait the full, 3 hours. That's another problem I have with betting, Donnie, particularly live betting, like in a casino where you go up to the window. So I was mentioning, let's say a book's open. Let's say I have an over 9, right?
Yeah.
And it's 12-10 in the 8th. Why can't you pay me out?
Like the sport online,
What are they going to take?
That's already in your bank.
Away?
90% of the books now online, that's already in your bank account.
And that's another angle they don't talk about when it comes to like betting online as opposed to live. Mm-hmm. Like there's just betting live in a casino is just dreadful at every level.
It's just nostalgia. It's just I have a ticket in my hand. I bet it there when. Well, first of all, if like, hey, you're going to like, let's put you in Las Vegas. You show up and you go to the Bellagio Sportsbook. Hey, Eagles -7 over the Chiefs. You check your phone and be like, I can get 5.5. Ah, it's all right. We're here. Let's bet that. No, we're not betting 7 when you can get 5.5. Sorry.
Yeah, I only did it with that just because like I had cash in my pocket and I would just walked over that way and I'm like, you know what, let me see what these prices are. But yeah it's like they don't make it easy. Like the machines never seemingly work half the time. They're never open. You know, the lines generally suck. Like, you know what, like at the Wynn Sportsbook, Donnie, you can't bet like they you can't bet anything. Sides and totals, that's it. And it's just so like everyone's gonna look at everything before you wager it. It's just
give me rotation 131. Like no, like online you just press the button. Like yeah, it's Chiefs Eagles. That's what I want. I don't have to tell them rotational and this and that, and then check your ticket and you walk away like this guy messed my ticket up. I got to go back to the counter. Like no,
I've never had ever like whether it be Atlantic City, Vegas. I've never had a good experience, and I've been to many windows. I can't say I've ever had like a good experience. The ticket writers are always just like so rude,
barely
and
look at you.
They don't even know anything about sports. It's just like
most things. I remember I went to when the Borgata, when we first turned on legalized sports gambling in New Jersey. I went to the Borgata right away. They had no idea even how to take a bet at that point.
No, they still don't. No. When I was there for 2 weeks, I was betting the White House card. They didn't know anything. It took 3 minutes to get a wager down. Yeah. It's just not fun at all. The only thing about a casino that I will say is most casinos, I play a lot of poker. The dealers are always generally very good. Other than that, casinos just like any other business. They don't train anybody really. Nobody really knows anything. But yeah, the Connor thing, that ain't gonna happen. And yeah, Connor, I mean, why don't you get back the $30 million you made in 30 seconds? You know.
Yep. That's the way to do it. That's the only way it is. There you go,
Jeff.
Look at
and then prove it that you actually was and go win.
Yep. I like that he doesn't got his scan yet after basically a week at this point. Like a world-class athlete gets injured and he doesn't get an MRI the next morning. Come on, man.
By the way, like cool. Like no one cares at this point. It was a week ago.
No,
like, we don't care now.
Hey, ACL or grade 2, and you know he's going to hype it up like it's way worse. Like whatever. Like this scan comes back like, yeah, you sprained your knee. It's going to be some ridiculous outcome where it crashed.
Like with him, I don't get it because like I think he should go the route that like, not that I would care, but like why not just go like that Mayweather route where you just do like exhibitions against random people and like
that's where he made the most money when he did fight Mayweather. Yep, just go be a carnival act out there. Go fight Jake Paul. We'll watch that
because that's all he really is at this point. No one looks at him and like again, that's why I find it so amazing that so many people bet him off of where he was
they
in
just
his
wanted
career.
A piece, man.
Like,
it was almost like it's a donation. Like I'm going to donate tonight. Give me $100 on McGregor for the knockout. And I know it's probably not going to win, but I got to do it. And
this is why, like when you look at a sports bettor, there's still a lot of bettors that truly just bet through emotion, right? Like the biggest way you know someone is a square a lot of the time is when they have to bet on their team regardless of the situation, spot, whatever.
Or they can't bet. Like today, I love the Phillies. Fade Aaron Schwarber Harper to get an RBI tonight, Jeff. Love it. No, your boy went with the hated Mets because that's where the money's at.
I still remember one of the dumbest articles of all time ever blogged was by a guy, Stephen Shea at Barstool. He wrote an article that I was a, quote, fake fan and liar because it was 2 or 3 years ago during the NBA Finals, I openly bet against the Sixers. And he says that I was a fake. I said, yeah, I am. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not some foam finger waving scumbag. Like, Stephen Shea will bet every Tampa Bay Buck game because he likes the Bucks, whether they could be on Mars and have no one on their team and he'd still bet them. It's square nonsense. You're 100% right.
Square nonsense it is. That's a Thursday show, Crossing Lines, another one in the books. We're going to show out on a Friday. Flash Watching going to join us to talk a little action for the upcoming weekend. The bronze medal game on Saturday. The World Cup Championship game on Sunday, Major League Baseball, full card, full swing tomorrow, and so much more, and even more lists, Jeff.
I think I have an idea for one last list, at least from me, as far as if we're doing like the list week.
Yeah.
We've done some NFL. I'm going to give you, and I don't think Donnie will do this, but
Let me write it down.
I'm going to give you my top 5 college football teams heading into the season.
Top 5 college football teams, and we'll get a response also from Joe Lisi. That's what we're going to do.
Well, yeah, but again, I don't know why, because there is no response. It's a dumb thing to say, Joe. It just is. To call him the 5th best quarterback in the conference when every person knows, whether you like Arch or not as a quarterback, he's still a top 2 option heading into the season in the sport, not in the league.
There you go. Food for thought. We're going to get out of town. He's Jeff Nadu. I'm Donnie Rightside. We're crossing lines. By the way, watching in the chat box now, thank you so much for that. Lights out. Loved it. Hit the thumbs up in there. Hit the subscribe button. And also give us a follow on X, crossing X lines here. It's easy to do. Jeff and Donnie, we'll be back on a Friday edition to get you ready for the weekend. We'll see you then.